always going to be better, both for the school, for the students, for the administrators, and then for our community. And so, God, we're asking for your grace upon our schools in general and upon this meeting as well. Once again, we're thankful for these men and women. Just ask for your blessing on them. In Jesus' name, amen.
All right, and then we have Katie Stubbs here to introduce the FCCLA that's going to lead us in the pledge.
Good evening. Really quick, my name is Katie Stubbs. I am the Family and Consumer Science teacher at the 7th and 8th grade center and the FCCLA advisor. And first of all, I just want to extend the thanks to the board and to our administrators this evening for allowing us to come, take the invitation to come and say the pledge with you guys and just be a part of this leadership team. I just want to say a couple of things about our FCCLA program and what they do. We're super excited this year. We are going to be 100% chapter affiliation, so that is every kiddo in our FACS courses is affiliated with FCCLA. My officer team for the mid-level consists of 7 kids. That's pretty typical for your mid-level schools and one like the size of ours. I've got 5 here tonight. I'm missing 2 with different obligations, but I'm going to go ahead and introduce these kiddos. My president is Tinley Reese. She's in 8th grade. My vice president, Diana Exume. We have Brayley Kirkland, secretary, 7th grade. Bryceda Salvador, representative, 8th grade. And Daxton Roberts, representative, 8th grade. I'm super excited about this officer team. When we talked about elections a couple of weeks ago, and we sat down and we went through the process, I said, this isn't my chapter, this is your chapter, and this is about being student-led, and that's the really great thing about FCCLA. It's not teacher-driven, it's student-driven, and so I'm super excited to see all of the things in the service work and the community projects that these kiddos are going to line out, not only for our school, but our community, and they understand that Family and Career Community Leaders of America, those aren't just words. They want to put that into our community, into our state, into our country. And so we're super proud of them, and we're glad to be here tonight. So thank you. I'm going to pass the microphone to Tinley Reese, and they will lead you in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Hang on, can you trade me spots? So yes. Okay, thank you. Ready? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Hey, we appreciate y'all being here today, and I know that y'all are under great leadership, and I think y'all will have a fantastic year. So thank you very much. And it is 6:01, so I'll call this meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 All right. We appreciate all of our guests that have been here for any part of our meeting being here tonight. It was a pleasure having you here. Support Employee of the Month.
Yeah, so let's see if I can pull this close enough. Test, test, test. Okay. So First National Bank is sponsoring our Support Employee of the Month again. So really excited to partnership with them. What they're going to do is they're going to give us $50 times 2 every month, because we have 2 support employees every month. And then what we'll do at the very end of the year in May, we'll have a Support Employee of the Year that we honor, just like we did last year. So really blessed to have local community members like First National Bank that are willing to come in and help sponsor the great people we have. So let's start off with our high school and Mr. Ballard, if we can give him the mic and let him introduce his Supporting Employee of the Month. And board members, as normal, let's go ahead and work our way to the front. All right, who wants to be the one giving Pam numbers today? Okay, Phil's got Pam. Who wants the next one? Audrey, Fazio, you got Audrey. And then I'll give you this. And let's bring you guys up in front.
All right, so it is my pleasure to introduce our support employee spotlight is Miss Pam Daly. So Pam has been employed with Poto Public Schools for 16 years now, And the one thing that she absolutely loves about her job are the kiddos. And that I didn't even have to write it down. Normally you write the question. I already knew it. I called her and I said, hey, what's your favorite thing? It's kids. Exactly. It's the kids. And it is the toughest thing in the world because we have so many support staff. It's just not lip service when our admin comes up here and tells you guys that the backbone of our school, all our support staff, because it starts with them, the bus drivers, secretaries, custodians. And just to tell you how important they are, we got to celebrate Miss Pam at our PEP assembly Friday. And this place was packed with 600 kiddos in here just going crazy. And the loudest roar, and you know how we are at high school football games here, the loudest roar we had, and she just happened to be sitting at the very top, and she had no clue she was getting honored. And when I called her name, she came down, and all those football kids and the kids on each side was just high-fiving her, yelling her name, Miss Pam, Miss Pam. So this is the absolute favorite thing that we can do here at the board meeting, in my opinion, is honor our support staff, and she is very well deserving of it. And Pam, congratulations.
Joe got to practice last year, so I had to take notes. So tonight I am filling in for Dr. Gillum. She's at a conference this week, and to be quite honest, I was super pumped that she was going to be gone because I got to celebrate Audrey tonight, and that meant a lot to me. So it is an honor to take this opportunity to express our appreciation and sincere gratitude for you, Audrey Fazio. In every task that Audrey takes, whether it's managing schedules, handling the communication, being literally the front line and face of our mission and vision every single day at Pansy Kid Middle School, she does it with such efficiency that our site just runs as a smooth operation. There's never a hiccup. If Audrey is asked a question and she doesn't know an answer, her pivot is always, I'm not sure about that, but I'm going to call somebody because I know somebody has the answer and I will get you one. That's needed when you are in my position where you're still learning the ropes too. And so I appreciate every single thing that Audrey has done to make our school run as efficiently as it does. Some of the things that our staff said, just to kind of back that up, is that Audrey is always equipped to be able to answer any question that a teacher might have. She's willing to give help and support with a student issue or a teacher concern. She knows the answer to all the questions, and if she doesn't, she'll reach out to someone who does. No matter how crazy things may be in the office, she always has time to help her teachers. She's a wonderful multitasker, and we're so glad to have her on our team. Audrey, you're outstanding by definition, and thank you so much for everything that you do for our site.
Thank you to both of you so much. We really appreciate everything that you do. All right. Do we have any comments from the public?
None.
I would entertain a motion with regards to the minutes of the regular board meeting from August 12th and the special board meeting from August 27th.
I'll make a motion we approve both those board meeting minutes.
Second it.
Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Yes. All right. Financial reports, encumbrances, and change orders.
Okay. So if you'll turn with me to the financials, they are on the pink. I don't want to say pink slip, pink sheet. I can't. So for the month of August, we'll start looking at our general fund. And our revenues were up for the month of August. That is due to our state aid. If you remember, in January, we had an increase in our midterm, and so that's still carrying over. So our revenue is up there. Also, for the month of August, we received over $700,000 from prior year federal claims. If you remember last month in July, we were down a little bit because a lot of it hit actually in August instead of July this year. And then if you look at our expenditures are down from last year. And one of the reasons is last year in the month of August, we bought some textbooks, and we didn't buy those textbooks in this August. Also, we had expenditures for our electric bus charger. It was an expense and a revenue, but it came out, so it looked like an expenditure as well. And I also just want to let you know that our budget, we are trying to tighten that up because we know that Esther, and I know you are tired of me saying that, but Esther is gone away, so we're trying to tighten up some budgets there. And I also just want to let you know this month of August, it looks like our expenditures are down, but they're really not. It's because we have not had our full month of salaries for all employees yet, and that'll be next month. So that's why July and August looks down a little bit, and it's how we spend it's how we pay our payroll out that we have to each year. And then in the building fund, our revenue is what we expected for the month of August, and our expenditures are up some in the month of August, but that's because of some building fund projects that we have going on already this year. In our child nutrition, our revenue is down, and I just want to explain why. Our local revenue will be down this year because we did receive our free lunches for our preschool through 8th grade. So that means local revenue will go down, but our federal revenue should go up, but it'll be later in the year before those federal money starts coming in. So for a little while, it's going to be down probably. Our expenditures in child nutrition are up some, and that's due to the increase in salaries and some services that we've had in the month of August. And then if you will turn with me to our year-to-date. And starting off with the general fund, we had a very good fund balance from last year. Our revenues are up due to that state aid, and our expenditures are actually down some, which is what we wanted to see right now with our tighter budget. And then if you look at our fund balance, it does look very good for general fund, but one more time, those ESSER funds are gone. So what that means, with that being said, is we will still have a lot of the expenditures, but the revenue will not be coming in like in November, December when we usually have that. That's not going to be coming in as much out of the federal revenue. So, but we're doing really good in our general fund there. Then if you look with me in our building fund, our revenue year-to-date is up some, and that was a prior year claim that came in July for our building fund. And our expenditures are up, but that's our projects that we've already started this year. And our fund balance looks very good for this time. If you compare it to all the other years, we're looking really good in our building fund. But we will be paying for a new football turf, and that will be paid or being done after football season and before soccer season. Hopefully that'll all get finished there, and that'll be coming out of that building fund. Plus in building fund, we will have our new land payments and some building renovations that'll be coming out of that building fund this year. Looking at our child nutrition, our fund balance carryover from last year is down some, but that was because of all those expenditures that we did last year with our child nutrition, the box truck, the walk-in freezers, and some tables. And our revenue is right where we thought it would be, local being down right now, and our expenditures are up, but that's just due to the increase in salaries for this new year and some services that are coming out of child nutrition. And even if you look at the balance as of August in child nutrition, it is down some, but it is really good. That is a very good fund balance in child nutrition at this time. And then the total operation column, the very last column, you can see that we started off very good. Our revenues are up from last year, and our expenditures are about the same as last year. So we're still setting very good for the month of August. And then if you will turn with me to the very first blue sheet, it's our activity fund. And as of August 31st, we had $733,702 in our activity fund. That's up a little bit from last year. And then the purple sheet is next, and that is our general fund encumbrances. And we still have a lot, and a lot of this is kind of normal startup for the new year. I will go over some of the larger ones with you. On the first page, if you look with me on PO number 377, that is just for some graduation expenses. We already have the PO in there because we know that's coming. That's the diplomas, covers, etc. And then if you'll turn with me to page 2, in the middle of the page, number 408, that PO is for a camera lens, and a battery, and that is for our high school STEM class. And we actually will file a Carl Perkins on that, and so we will be reimbursed that amount, but it'll help those students there in that STEM class. And on the third page at the top, number 425, that's just our Remind app, and that's our district messaging that we have every year with the Remind. And then if you'll go down that page to about 439, PO number 439, that is some network drops for our new admin building. So that's some of the larger ones that we had in here. And then if you turn to the very last page, number 5, so we had a total of like $99,019 that are our POs for the general fund. The next page is our building fund. There are 3 POs there. The first one, PO number 8, is for a small wall that's in the locker room. Number 9 is for on our elevators, the maintenance there for our SEC and high school. And the last one is for Michael Riley with a total of $13,721 for the building fund. The next one is our child nutrition. There's also 3 POs there. Our largest one being number 18, and that's to OPA, and that's for our September billing there. The very next sheet, and it's on a gold color, is our bond encumbrances. And so a couple months ago, you had a meeting to do our bond issuance, and so we received the funding there in August, and so now we're doing the 2 POs. PO number 2 is made out to Stephen McDonald and Associate, and that's for their admin costs to oversee those issuance of the bonds. And then PO number 3 is to UME Bank, and that is actually the payment for those bonds, and it's due December 1st. And if you will open up your binder, we had to add a few encumbrances. So in your black folder binder, it may start off with a capital improvement sheet. I'm going to let Devin talk about the capital improvements, and then I'm going to come back to my encumbrances.
Okay, we've got a couple of change orders in here. One is for the PKMS roofing project. There was a couple $1,000s there of decking and other materials that they just couldn't see until they got the old roof off, that they had to do some extra repair that they weren't planning on. So that's the Heritage Hills, a couple $1,000s. And then in your main packet, there's another change order while we're at it for Hellas, and that's the turf company, and that is $33,000. That's for the sponsorship logos to get those done for the sideline sponsors. So we'll be getting that money back. And that's just the initial cost of getting those done.
So if you'll look with me, there's a purple sheet as well for the general fund. There was 3 POs that came through a little late. 471 was for a power supply. 472 was OPA, and that's for some adult meals in August. 473 was Snyder Landscape, and that's irrigation for the baseball field. But I want to let you know that the Baseball Booster Club will be half of that back. They just wanted us to help, and they helped some too. And then the last one, 474, is to Midwest Sporting Goods, and that's for the SEC, some basketball uniforms for the boys and girls. And then there's one more, and it's on pink, and it's the building fund, and that's for one of the change orders at the roof at the PKMS. Does anyone have any questions?
If there's no questions, I'd entertain a motion with regards to the financial reports, encumbrances, and change orders.
I move we accept them.
All right. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Discussion and vote to approve or not approve the 23-24 estimate of needs.
Hey, Mr. Ballard, do you mind checking on the mics? All of them seem like they're really low. We had to cut up the handheld mic to make it better, but we got to eat these for it to be able to come through right now. I'm tapping them. Much better. Test, 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 yeah. They were just really low, so that's better. Can one of y'all talk?
Can you hear me better now?
Yep, perfect. Okay. All right, so Ms. Martin.
So the estimate of needs, this, we bring this to you every year. It is our legal budget that we have to follow. Our auditors actually put this together. They send it to me, and I review it and send it back for any changes. So we bring this to you every year for your approval, so we can start spending all this money.
Does anyone have any questions or comments with regards to the proposed estimate of needs? I think it's just in our agenda.
Yeah, that's the total of $24,887,800, and then 8 cents, and then general fund for $3,080,656, 20 cents, building fund for $1,721,369.65, and then child nutrition is the $989,765.63 for sinking fund.
If there's no questions or comments, I'd entertain a motion with regards to the proposed estimate of needs.
I'll make a motion, we approve it.
Is there a second?
I'll second his motion.
Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Discussion and vote to approve or not approve the capital improvement plan.
Okay, so the capital improvement plan is in your packet. It's multicolored, yellow and blue for the most part. I guess I can scoot this way a little bit now since it's louder. So we have a capital improvement committee. We've been able to get together, go through a lot of this capital improvement plan. So over the last year, we've spent over $1 million in capital improvements in our district. Huge win. As we look into this year, we've got over $1 million set aside to cover capital improvements. And so capital improvements gets a little vague because it encompasses transportation, it encompasses replacement of our turf, it encompasses land. So there's a lot in there, but just between land and our turf replacement, that's $1 million almost right there. So when you add in some of the other little items like transportation, et cetera, you can see we get over $1 million pretty quick out of our building fund. So this is coming out of our building fund, that capital improvement piece. So there's a lot there, but what questions do you guys have? I know there's a lot of things at the bottom that might be blank that you might have questions on, or even other items that aren't on there.
Are there other items that have been contemplated that aren't included on this list, and what's the plan for those?
Yes, so we have a multi-page spreadsheet that has a ton of information on it, and you know, there's a lot of things in our district that really need to get done. Even the things at the bottom of this page that you're looking at, you'll see some of them aren't listed as an item on even FY27 or 28, but they're there. And if you look, you'll notice at the end we've got some extra money after we get through these next 2 years. This year we're doing the turf. Next year we're doing $1 million roof project. So that takes us through FY26. So when we get to FY27, FY28 and beyond, we will have some extra money. And I think at that point, that's where we're going to have to figure out how we're going to spend some of that money and what direction we want to go with projects. So I think there's a lot of things that need to get done in our district that we don't have a plan for right now because we don't have the funds for them right now. So I think when we get to FY27 and beyond, we'll be able to look at some of those items. Good question.
And then I know I've been present for it, but maybe let the other board members know who all's been present for those
Sure.
capital improvement plan meetings and whose input, I guess.
Yeah, so we've got every building represented with our principals in those meetings. We have our Director of Operations present, Mr. Devon. We also have our Finance Director, Ms. Valerie, there, and you have me and Ms. Tillery there. So it's basically your central office and the heads of each building getting together and working a game plan out. So I will say it's been really interesting watching, because you would think that when you get in a room like that, you're going to have every building really fighting just for their building, but that's not been the case. We really have been working as a team and trying to put a plan together that's going to put us in the best place possible moving into year after year. So I feel good about the plan we have and the team we have.
Does anybody else have any questions or comments? If not, I'd entertain a motion with regards to the capital improvement plan.
Make a motion, we approve capital improvement plan.
I'll second it.
Roll call, please. Yes?
Yes.
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 All right, discussion and vote to approve or not approve board policy.
Okay, so first off, I apologize. Second, we'll get going. There's a lot here, so you'll have to bear with me. Realize that this is because we have new state rules from our Oklahoma State Department of Education, and we had a legislation last spring that passed a lot of new things. So this is a result of that. You guys, most of you were at our OSSBA conference for most of that conference, and so you got to hear some of these items, but that's really what these are. So we'll start with DBCA, so I've got them in order for you guys. So that's the standards of performance and conduct for teachers. If you go to page 3, item 7, you'll see that's the brand new addition. Now, even though we haven't been with the OSSBA policy book, this policy has been in their book for a long time, but they had to add item 7. That's a big component for the legislation. They passed multiple laws in regards to communication and sexual terminology going to kids, and the grooming aspect. That's been a target for them. So that's what that adjustment is making sure that any one of our employees that might communicate inappropriately with kids is dealt with appropriately. If you go to the next one, and if you guys have questions on any of them, I can stop and elaborate on any of them. But if you go to the next one, DHAC, that's the communication policy. You guys have already approved this policy, but after OSSBA conference, we learned that at the very top you have an item 1 and 2. So we took out, the one you approved before was 1, 2, and 3. We took out 1 altogether, and so now there's just 2. The item that we took out was the item about our employees friending or following a student, or a student friending or following them, or whatever. So after the conference of OSSBA, they had stated that that's really a good practice, but it's not law. So I still think that's best practice, for our teachers. I think it protects them by not having that. However, if we have it as a policy, I feel like it's just something that can trip up our employees accidentally, and then all of a sudden they're in violation of our board policy. So I don't want to be one more thing that trips up our employees. Moving on, the DO policy. That is the termination policy for teachers. It simply adds the same terminology that we had talked about in DBCA. The next 3 are all the same, DOAC and DOBD. DOAC is the support side of that, and then the DOBD is the teacher side. That one is a little different because it deals with suspensions and the Oklahoma State Department of Education, because now the Oklahoma State Department of Education can investigate someone if they're wanting to see if they need to take the license from them and that. So this talks about how we have to deal with that on a district level. EGG is an extension to the discrimination policy. It adds the curriculum and a complaint process in on the discrimination policy. So it just clarifies. And remember, all of these policies are what we are going to. So these are just going to be on the front end in place before we get the rest of our policy. So, but with these protocols needing to be put in, now's the time to do it. EKBA is the new Reading Act. If you remember, we had something called RSA, or the Reading Sufficiency Act. Well, now that's changed to the Strong Readers Act, SRA. So, and this changes our terminology from the board side and now has a couple of new obligations and things like that in it for our elementary teachers mainly, and we'll be talking about that tomorrow in our admin meeting. So I know they're going to be super excited about that. EMDB, this is a policy from the state mandate about our flags, saying that we have to have a flag mandate. You will actually see two copies in there. You'll see a pink copy, but there's a purple copy. So I'm asking that we approve the purple copy. The pink copy had an item on the very end of EMDB that said no other flags could be flown on our school grounds. However, we do fly school flags, the pirate flags on our football field. So we'd be in violation of our policy right off the bat. So we need to make sure that we're approving the purple copy of that one, which has the terminology about other flags being allowed. And we are following that policy. So we didn't approve it. We're still following that policy. Everything we do is that. In fact, the way it's written is we have to once a week do the Pledge of Allegiance. We do the Pledge of Allegiance every day at Hotopote schools in every classroom. So we're doing more than what the expectation is on that. EMI, this policy is due to the recent Kennedy versus Bremerton case. If you haven't heard about this is the case where you had a coach that was having a private prayer after a football game. The school felt that was a violation and ended up suspending him and ended up terminating him. He sued, went all the way to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court said he has a right for a private prayer even on school grounds. I did talk to our lawyers to see if this could impact us with some of our prayer practices, maybe before games or whatnot, and did get a very stern no, especially since we've been in a practice of not doing that. If we put it in place, now we're opening ourselves up. Because I'd love to have us praying before games and those things publicly, but this doesn't open that piece up. The FE policy is next. That is a normal one. You'll see that 4 times a year. That's our quarterly policy. The only thing that changed there is we upped our primary numbers. So if you go to, I'm not sure what page that is, Jody, right there. What?
Next, it's 2 of 3.
Page what?
2 of 3.
So on page 2 of 3, you'll see all the different numbers per grade level. That's our capacity numbers. So we did change the elementary capacity numbers a little bit just to accommodate where we're at. Remember, we have some extra teachers down there now, so we just had to update those to get in line with that. But it's not allowing us to have any more elementary kids than we already have. I mean, that's one of those discussions that Ms. Smith and I have been having, trying to figure out what that looks like. The last policy here is the FGBD policy. This policy is for name, image, and likeness. More than likely, we're not going to have this piece affecting us. However, with the OSSAA coming out with their Rule 5 and Rule 9, we need to make sure that we have something in place to regulate what that looks like in POTO. So that's what this policy is. Any questions on any of the policies?
I don't have a question, but I do have a comment. I just wanted to give some feedback that I've heard from several elementary school teachers at the primary that have really appreciated your efforts to get extra teachers in there and be able to make those classrooms with less students. So I think that that's been really appreciated and beneficial for teachers and students.
Yeah, I was talking with them. We were at 21, 22 last year, and now we're about 17 or 18. Does that sound about right, Ms. Smith? 19 and a couple with 19. But we were over 20 last year in all of them. Okay, so it is better, for sure.
All right. Does anyone else have any questions or comments with regards to those policies? If not, I'd entertain a motion to approve those policies with the lavender flags policy being the one approved.
I move that we approve the policies.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Yes. Discussion and vote to approve or not approve the authorization of purchasing agents for POTO public school programs for school year 24-25.
And that is Ms. Martin. It's a yearly item. I'm not sure we have to have this on there, but for this year, to be honest, I didn't have time to check into it a whole lot. So we'll just keep it on there and we'll approve it. We definitely need Ms. Martin, though.
I'll make a motion to approve, Ms. Martin.
All right, is there a second?
I'll second his motion.
All right, roll call, please.
Yes.
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 do a very good job, though, and we do appreciate having you.
Very awesome.
Discussion,
Okay, good.
discussion and vote to approve or not approve changes to the 7th, 8th grade center site handbook for the 24-25 school year.
Yeah, and so on this one, I was going to try to explain it all, but I figured Miss Lamb would do a better job. So could we give her the mic, let her explain what this item is?
You got a drum
Got a
roll
drum
going
roll.
for your
I know.
presentation.
I feel like I had a walk-up song or something. When we separated the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th, this was a policy in our handbook that I feel like we had we overlooked, and it's in regards to National Honor Society and Student Council. And what we're asking tonight is that this policy just be for the kids at the SEC and not include any discipline that came previous to the SEC.
Anyone have any questions or comments? Not, I'd entertain a motion to approve.
Make a motion we approve?
All right.
I'll second it.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 All right. Discussion and vote to approve or not approve an activity fund transfer in the amount of $3,974.86.
So this is at the SEC, and we no longer have a reading club there. And it is the same sponsor that it's over the reading club and the library account. So we're just requesting that we can move the funds that were left in the reading club into the SEC library activity fund account, so she can use those as needed.
I move we approve the transfer.
Is there a second?
I'll second his motion.
Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Discussion and vote to approve or not approve the activity fundraisers for the 24-25 school year.
Yeah, there's a pretty good amount in there. We have SEC High School. High school has MAT Squad and FCCLA. We have the upper elementary, the primary, and PKMS. So it is, every site has fundraisers in there. So if you have any questions on any of them, our principals would love to answer those, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Are there any questions? If not, I'd entertain a motion to approve.
Make a motion we approve the activity fundraisers for 24-25.
Is there a second?
I'll second
Roll call, please. Yes.
it. Yes.
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 Discussion and vote to approve or not approve an out-of-state activity trip for junior high and high school boys and girls cross-country teams.
Yeah, so this is a yearly item. It's a cross-country meet called the Chili Pepper Festival in Fayetteville, Arkansas. It's a lot of cross-country teams in Oklahoma attend that. It's a big one.
I make a motion we approve the out-of-state activity trip for cross-country, boys and girls.
Is there a
Second.
Great. Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Yes. Discussion and vote to approve or not approve the local advisory committee on gifted education.
Miss Tillery.
That's me. Every year by September 15th, we have to have a local advisory committee in place per law for our gifted and talented program. So we have counselors and teachers and a couple of parents who serve in that capacity. And we also have to have a meeting on or before October 1st. So that's what this is for.
Entertain a motion with regards to the committee.
I'll make a motion we approve.
Is there a second?
I'll second his motion.
Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Discussion and vote to approve or not approve the 24-25 contracts agreements for those listed.
Yeah, so the Oklahoma State Department of Education with the public counseling group, that is a really cool piece, actually. That's Medicaid is something that we really haven't got it very involved in. We have Brenda Martin that's kind of heading up that component for us, and I I think this year we're actually going to be a testing site for this on billing purposes. So we're ready and excited to get going on this. So excited about that piece. The next 6 are all kind of the same thing. So they're all items that we've had in place. We're just renewing them. The Comanche Tech, that's an annual MOU. Police Department, annual MOU. The Kellogg and Sovereign, that is an E-rate, regular MOU. Treat Solutions, that's our custodial contract, and that's it's only a second year of it, so maybe not a regular, but we are really pleased with them and are looking forward to continue our partnership for them. And then the PandaDoc is a normal one as well. That's the electronic signature piece for our special education program. So all of them are just contracts or MOUs that we need to operate as normal. Bless you.
On the Kellogg and Sovereign, are we wanting documents from the 22-23 year, or just?
Yeah, so it's an ongoing contract / MOU. So all we're doing is we're just coming back and making sure we renew it, because we can't have contracts or MOUs that extend beyond 1 year. So we're just renewing it is all we're doing.
Does anyone else have any questions or comments? I do think on treats that we probably need that one updated to 24 through 25.
Yeah, I would probably agree with that. I saw, and a lot of those are like that, where they're just 1 year and they don't go on, but yes, I agree.
So I guess I'd entertain a motion with regards to all of those contracts for the 24-25 school year.
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Discussion and vote to approve or not approve surplus items.
So we do have a couple there. The wrestling team's got several surplus items. PKMS has got some surplus items, and primary does as well. The primary was a late addition, or did we get them in there? We got them in there, didn't we? So I'm glad to say that we're still working on the surplus piece. We're hoping to get everything moved over and have it at one central location by October. Fingers crossed, but it'll probably be a little later than that. But nonetheless, we are working to try to clean out our buildings. And Miss Tiller and I were down at the high school today looking at the forbidden wing. And I will say, when you look down that wing, it looks way better. Now, the room's still maybe not, but I think that's still a project we're working on. But it's definitely starting to look better, getting a lot of the surplus out.
I'd entertain a motion with regards to the surplus items.
I'll make a motion we approve the surplus list.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Facility report.
Okay, things have slowed down somewhat from the summer, but just an update on a few things. The high school gym, the socks that we've been waiting on, the air ducts are scheduled to be installed this week. So hopefully by the end of the week we'll have that complete. All the marquees are now up and running and functional at each of the sites that we put new ones in. For transportation, we're actually still in the running for some additional electric buses. The EPA has reached out to us to see if we were still interested in that program, and we responded that we were. So they've gone through the initial list, and then we were on the waiting list. So now they're going through that waiting list. So we still may have an opportunity there. And the new administration building, it has been put out for bid as we speak, and we'll have a pre-bid meeting on the 25th of September for contractors to come and look and see what needs to be done. And then we will open bids on October 8th. So by the next board meeting, we should have a contractor selected and wait for your approval for that. So that's what we got.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Superintendent's report.
Yep, so non-official student numbers. So every week on Fridays, we get a chance to look and see what our numbers are looking like. Right now, district-wide, we're down 50 kids. It's secondary level. Our elementaries are up, but our secondary is not. So I think that's, we speculated and we've been talking. We've got it on the agenda tomorrow at our admin meeting to talk about more, try to figure some of this out. But good and bad. I mean, the bad is we're down. The good is we're on a 2-year high. Last year was our high year, and we have 2 years. So even though this year is down, we won't get impacted at midterm because we have lower numbers this year. But what that means is if next year, by October 1, we don't get those numbers back up, then we're going to have to take a loss. And, you know, right now, if we're talking 50 kids, that's a pretty significant hit at midterm. So we definitely need to continue to figure out ways to get our numbers where they need to be, because we need to be at least flat, if not growing. With us being state aid dependent, as we grow, our state aid is coming in and we're getting more revenue. So that's a big win for us. You have some schools that are more wealthy and maybe off the formula. When their population grows, they don't get the money back. We're the opposite. We do. And so for us to grow would mean that our revenue from the state is going to continue to go up as well. So, and federal as well. So we definitely want our population to grow, not shrink. On the policy book update progress, so we obviously approved a lot of the policies, OSSBA policies tonight. But if you remember, we sent in April, not last April, but the year before that, April, we sent in our entire policy book to have them go through it. We've had a committee that met last year for 5 months, and we broke that up into 5 different sections, and we sent that in. We do have the final back, but right now I'm in the middle of going through it. And there's still plenty of things that need to get adjusted in there, so we're not quite done. I was hoping when I got it back, I was really excited, hoping there'd be nothing that we needed to mess with. But as I'm going through it, there's several things that are not as they should be. So there'll be a couple of times back and forth, I'm afraid, on this. So hopefully in the spring, we'll be able to have this maybe by April, and then it's only been a 2-year process. So that would be awesome. But that's where we're at with the policy book update and progress. Any questions on either one of those items?
Do you have a total student number?
Yes. Oh man, I said yes, and now I'm drawing a blank on what that number was today. It was 2187 last year, and we're down right at 50. So I think it was actually 51 right now, down from 2187 last year. So that's our number.
Anyone else? All right, any new business?
None.
All right, I'd entertain a motion to go into executive session.
Do you need it?
Yeah, we would.
I move and go into executive session.
That I was just trying to keep you here longer? Roll call, please.
Didn't he say he wanted it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
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 As I said, you were questioning me, you're like, oh, you really needed it? She might just be trying to keep us here for nothing. right, the board met in executive session to discuss personnel items and land matters. No other matters were discussed pursuant to Title 25 Oklahoma Statute, Section 307, subsections B1 and 3 of the Open Meeting Act. Those present were the board members and Mr. Kipnick. The board did not take any official votes or action in executive session and returned at 7:01 p.m. Would entertain a vote to approve the resignations of the employees, Brittany Couch and Lindsay Wan.
I move that we approve those resignations.
I'll second it.
All right, roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Yes. Vote to approve or not approve the employment of the following. Alexi Padillo as school-based family services specialist, Sydney Robinson as sped paraprofessional at the upper elementary, and Callie McClendon as secretary at upper elementary.
I'll make the motion, we approve those three.
Is there a second?
I'll second his motion.
Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 And entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second your motion.
All right, roll call, please.
Yes.
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 You have to look at the numbers on his mill.